Hi, welcome to a Cumulus training movie. In this training movie, I will explain how catalogs can be added to Cumulus and can be made visible in the web environment. First of all, catalogs are managed by the Cumulus administrator. So if a catalog needs to be added, it is imperative that you connect as Cumulus administrator in the Cumulus client. Adding new catalogs can also only be done through the Cumulus native client. So if here in this list of catalogs you see today some catalogs that are gray, that means that these catalogs are only visible and usable by the Cumulus administrator. Only catalogs in black are shared and could potentially be visible for other users. If you want to if you want to add a catalog, you can click on the Add to List. It will look in a predefined folder for CCF files, Cumulus catalog files that are not in your current list, and so that are currently not activated. So you could add the catalogs from here. If you like, but some of them might already be here in the list coming from somewhere else. So if this path is not where you want to get the file from, if you are the Cumulus administrator, could also log into the server console, either the native server console or the web server console. And in the web server console or native server console, under the admin section settings, here you can define remote file browser sections. You can define multiple, so you're not restricted to one. So you can see here that you have here catalogs, and you could change that, and from that point on the catalogs could be taken from there. It could also be a folder higher in the tree, allowing you to browse into subfolders of this. That too is permitted. So you could just specify here, say C:// and that would be fine as well. But you could also add a secondary one. So if I make it simple and I just say, okay, for me, catalog actually starts here, and then from this point on, you will have the ability to use the catalogs that are there. If you want, you could also say, I want to have catalogs on the D drive as well, or somewhere else. So then in that case, you could specify those as well. So I could say drive, just like that. And don't forget, if you make any changes here, save changes. And if I now go back to the Cumulus client, and it might be that I have to close the Cumulus client, I'm not 100% sure, but we will see in a moment. You can see that now I have the catalog D drive that I can go to, and I can go to the catalogs, and the catalogs brings me here. So I see I have another catalogs folder here, and I could add this catalog. So two options, either you only use the catalogs folder, or you use the a secondary folder where you permit people to go to. I'm going to add this catalog. As I said, if a catalog is in gray, it means it is only available for the Cumulus administrator. So at this point, nobody else sees this catalog. If you want this, make this catalog available, visible for other users, you need to make this catalog shared. So you have to go to the preferences, catalog settings, and then here in general, you need to share this catalog. So this way you make it share. If you want it to be used in the web, then you have to also enable the web here. So if I save, now it is available. This little message box you don't have to care about. This is a catalog that I'm bringing in from a customer. This catalog has a vault defined and the vault is not available, so it's just complaining that it isn't finding the vault of this catalog. Nothing to worry about. This is just an example. So step one is now it is shared. So if I now log in as a user that by default has access to any catalog, oh sorry, wrong. Let's say Peter has no limitations in his catalogs, then I will also see Canada. Here it is. You can see I can access it. It could be that if I'm logging in as a user that has predefined list, a restricted list of catalogs, then you can add as many catalogs as you like. It will not appear for that user. How can you fix that, or where is that set up? In the user settings under roles, you have, let's say, the Peter role. If you look at the Peter role, you can see that I had no restrictions. So I have all the permissions for that are defined here for any catalog. So if I am allowed to open it with any client, then I am allowed to open it with any client for any catalog. However, for the sample catalog, for the sample role, I specified that I had an individual catalog. And for all allowed, I'm saying that I can open all allowed, but there's only one allowed. So if I want to be able to see also that Canada catalog, I need to add it here. I can additionally also set specific permissions for each individual catalog. So it could be that on one catalog you're allowed to download and on another you're not, etc., etc. So, but this way you can restrict or expand the possibilities, but make sure if you have a new catalog that the user at least has access to it. Also, don't forget, if you're using, like in sites or in portals or in SIP, some kind technical users, make sure those technical users and thus the technical roles have also access to that catalog. Otherwise, your application might run into trouble. If you want this catalog to be available in portals, then you need to go to the SIP configurator and you need to modify here and add the catalog here as well. And make sure that in these configurations that you're using, that these configurations also use users, either by the user logging in or by fixed users that were set, that these users, like here, also have access to that catalog. If you lock the catalogs, then it will only be that catalog and nothing else. If you don't lock it, then it could be any catalog that this user has access to. So general access is usually not locking the username and password, which means that the user logs in. But if you're locking the catalogs, then the user can maybe has access to the catalog, but by locking the catalogs, it doesn't grant you access through this interface to that specific new catalog. And then you need to add it or unlock the catalogs that all catalogs could be visible. So this is how you would have to configure it for SIP. And there is also the web client configurator. You don't see the sites configurator anymore, but if you have sites, it's similar to for portals to SIP, where you have to define the catalogs that are permitted. Here in the Cumulus client, Cumulus Web Client, you will notice that in the Cumulus Web Client, there is no catalog restriction. So by default, you have access to all catalogs that the user has access. So if the user has access based on his or her permissions, then you will see the catalog in here if it is published for the web, if web is enabled. So that is a quick look at how to enable a catalog, how to add a catalog, and how to edit the path for getting catalogs into your system. If you have any more questions, just let me know. See you in another training movie.